Hello, good morning. It's me.
And who would that be? Okay. I just finished peeing into my pee cup, so
You're disgusting.
we can put that back.
No, we cannot put it over there.
Where can we put it?
Somewhere.
All right. And welcome aboard, everybody.
Lenny's been sneezing for like 10 minutes straight.
I'm glad I got it out of my system now. Anyway, welcome aboard, everybody. It's Monday. So, Andy, did you think it's Sunday?
No, I knew it was Monday.
You didn't think it was Friday?
I don't get my days confused.
Lady and the Legend will now appear here on Monday and Friday. How about that one for you? Good morning to everybody. The chat room is loaded. Big Al on the prowl. Greg is here. Chris Gallo. Data Premier. Daniel Ferrara. The DK Lush. The Eddie Heckman. Jeremy Gibbs. Jeremy, did you get your gift yet? We sent it out again to Jeremy and one other fella.
And two others, because we gave one to J.R. Matz.
Yeah, okay. Who will be in school. School started. So we're going to lose a lot of T-shirts, but we got Leonard Donaldson here. We got Jeremy Gibbs, Unholy Toledo, Marta 123, Eddie Heckman, and a couple of guests in the studio, and away we go. And look, Mike Trout is right around the corner. He's been hitting soft toss in the cage, and sooner rather than later is the prognostication on Mike Trout.
Yeah, so a day after he went through on-field running and throwing drills, did he already do soft toss, and then he's going to hit on the field too?
Yep,
or was that a couple days ago?
He's a career, look, we don't know Mike Trout. Okay, he has 24 home runs, 51 RBIs in 79 games this season. But here's the interesting thing about his contract. Adjusted for inflation, Mike Trout's contract was worth over $87 million more than the Louisiana Purchase when they were both signed. What's so funny? You don't know what the Louisiana Purchase is?
Yeah, I do.
You never studied that in school?
I watch Bonanza every day, so I know how cheap land was back then, okay?
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So, don't we watch Bonanza every day, Leonard?
Go ahead, okay.
Anyway, I already said that he's going to hit on the field for the first time. He already did that on Saturday. He hit off a tee. He did soft toss. There is still no date for his return, but the signs are good. And one other thing I know we don't have in the notes, but I just found out right before our show, is that Bryce Harper will be
taking batting practice.
I forgot, Leonard.
Well, what do you think he's going to do? Go to the
maybe
men's room?
Does some soft toss.
Bryce Harper should be taking batting practice. But here's the interesting thing. Jim Bowden found a response to my criticism of the Baltimore Orioles, okay? The Orioles, with a chance to make the playoffs, selling two of their best players.
They traded
them, but Bull did. But Mike Elias, the Orioles general manager, okay?
Leonard,
and I heard
a tissue.
No, I heard this on the front office show with Jim Bowden, who does a fantastic job. Our plan for this offseason has always been to significantly escalate our payroll and our performance. And that's
just cemented that. The performance cemented that.
Right.
And I love it. Is Erwin Minsky here or Eddie? Either way.
Yeah, Eddie's here. So
congratulations to the Orioles. I thought they were about to pass up the Tampa Bay Rays this weekend. They didn't quite do that. They're still one game now behind Tampa, but I believe Eddie and I believe the fans. You could see it on the TV, but you can't feel it unless you're actually there. It's something that I really wish we could have done, but, the fandom and the fan excitement is very clear in Baltimore, and they deserve that. Baltimore, it was funny. Some of the scouts were saying, we had a couple scouts on our show, I don't remember when, but it was several years ago. They were saying, I don't know why the Orioles even send a scout to the international signing because they never sign international players. They haven't signed an international player in years. And they did, which was why we were talking about it. They had signed one. So I do think that they're turning around. And we can't say anymore that Baltimore, we can't group them with the Pirates and the Oakland A's.
They have separated themselves, in my opinion. Absolutely. I got some bad news, by the way.
That your nose is all stuffed up?
No, I got some worse news than that. Tomorrow's Leonard Donaldson's today's his last day.
So we'll have a party.
He's got to go back to work. Leonard Donaldson, who we met at the home of Unholy Toledo, want to tell you that's why we do this. People say, how come you don't charge for the podcast? Lenny, you're crazy. You can charge. You can get blah, blah, blah. You can't get Leonard Donaldson traveling to Toledo, Ohio, just to shake our hands and give us a hug. Thank you, Leonard. Nice to see you. Hopefully you'll see us. Maybe we'll start doing some night shows so that the people that work that have to go back to school will be able to participate. Now, the shortest Yankee-Red Sox game, 2 hours
it's only since 2018, Leonard.
But still, 2 hours and 15 minutes, okay? 2 hours and 50. That's a short game.
That actually tied in 2018, but the only one that was lower time than that was in 1995.
Okay, there were what? 13 total runs scored?
In the series between the Yankees and the Red Sox. That's the fewest total runs scored in a 3 or more game series between the two franchises in the last 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
And the fourth fewest in divisional era since 1969.
That's right. And the last time the Red Sox permitted 2 or fewer hits and no runs against the Yankees was in 2011 at Fenway Park. So the American League wild card race really tightens up.
How does it tighten up? Because the Red Sox beat the Yankees. So they pull within 4.5 games of the final wild card spot. The American League contenders since the All-Star break. Houston Astros are 16-9. The Guardians are 15-9. The Orioles 13-9. The White Sox 13-10, and the Blue Jays 11-9. So who cares? The Red Sox beat the Yankees. They're still at the bottom of the barrel in the AL East, and I hope I'm a Red Sox fan, and I shouldn't say this, but I'm rooting for the Orioles above Tampa.
Yeah, me too.
Above the Red Sox.
I'm rooting for the Orioles too, even though it'll prove me wrong for jumping on their case. Yeah, I'm rooting for them, no question about it. Kenny Flamia has joined us. I didn't know if I said hello to Marta 123. Didn't know if I said hello to Unholy Toledo.
Or Malpal.
Hello to everybody. Malpal's having surgery right now.
No, his surgery's tomorrow, Leonard.
Oh, it is. Okay, so maybe he's resting. Big Al and the Prowl is here. Good morning to you all.
Okay, now, the Mets, I don't care about the under 500. Do you?
Contending teams that are under 500. I find this fascinating. Seattle Mariners are a contending team. They're 11-12.
Since the break.
Since the All-Star break. Tampa, 9-12. Minnesota, another contending team, 8-11. The Red Sox, 8-14.
And
the Yankees, 8-14.
So I guess it was the Yankees that were going to fall on their face first.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the Mets, if you want to talk about the Mets, they're 35 games above 500 through 115 games. That's the second fewest games in franchise history that they've reached 35 games above 500. In 1986, they were 35 games over 500 in 85 games. But if you look at the standings and you look at they're 8-2 in the last 10, they crush everybody else's run differential in the the National League East, which is interesting because these three teams, the Mets, Atlanta, and Philly, are all crushing it with their pitching, and they're winning games. They're all 7-3, 7-3, and 8-2 in the last 10 games, and they're all plus. So basically, the Miami Marlins don't even count anymore.
Tommy Johnson just joined. Eddie Heckman asked a question.
What is it?
In the chat room.
Kershaw.
Is Kershaw worth a pickup? Now, my first reaction to that is, compared to who? Who else is in the unpicked player pool that you can pick up? It's a tough,
Is he really not on a team right now? In Eddie's league?
Apparently, in Eddie's league, Clayton Kershaw can be picked up, and I understand
I just don't know if that could
we have some information about Kershaw.
He had some
in a little while, but
epidural shot.
Yeah, he's not 100% to come back.
That's not
he's
the first time he's had it.
He's not 100% to come back this season. So
he says he's feeling much better since his epidural injection. If he's available, I get it. I guess Eddie doesn't have many injured spots in his league because there's no other reason why Kershaw would be available in a league. And so he's scheduled, estimated return is August 26th. He does say he feels better. This lower back stuff has been going on for years with Kershaw. And I was really hesitant to like Kershaw the last couple of years, but he's proven that he still can pitch. When he's healthy, he pitches great. There's absolutely no reason why you could justify picking up another pitcher that's available.
But there are pitchers. I mean, we're going to talk about, what about Singer, who pitched such a good game yesterday? Let's find out, Eddie. Send me a list. Look, you ask all these. 9 out of 10 fantasy experts would give you an answer and say yes or no. But you can't answer the question until you know who else is available. And that's what everybody's lacking. The ability to understand that you got to know who else is available. The first place team just dropped them. Terrific.
Okay, how many injured spots do you have in your league available? And what players are on your injured list?
Not his injured list. Who's available to be? Yes, should he pick them up? Well, who else can you pick up?
Well, fine.
It's about a comparison.
But if you only have a small number of injured spots, you
he
could
needs
still
a pitcher.
Pick up another.
He has a spot for
Lenny,
him.
please.
No, please.
If you want to do the show with me, you have to wait till I'm finished speaking before you yell at me.
Go ahead.
If you have someone on your injured list taking up an injured spot as we speak, that's injured, and this player is not anywhere near as good as Kershaw, why wouldn't you drop your injured player and pick up Kershaw?
But that's not the question. The question is, should he pick him up? Of course, you have to have room to pick him up, but who else is available? Would you rather have Adam Singer?
No, that isn't even a name of a person.
Singer. What's
His name is Brady, and he pitches for the Royals.
Yes, right. Not Adam.
And no, I would not rather have Brady Singer. If he's healthy, then he doesn't even... This is the thing.
You just gave me the finger.
Yes, I did.
Why are we doing the show on radio?
Knock you to the moon,
Why don't we do it? That's why we don't do video. All right. So to answer your question, Eddie, you got to find out who else is available.
Yeah,
right?
Give us some more information before we fight each other.
That's it. Dad's the premier is here. Good morning to you all.
Okay, so Giancarlo Stanton, he moves...
Wait a second. Let's talk about the Mets first.
We already did.
We did? The 35 games above 500 through 115 games, the second
You don't
fewest.
remember me talking about that just a second ago?
No, I don't remember.
Well, I did.
Go ahead.
I told everybody.
Did you talk about the Tigers and the White Sox?
No, Leonard.
Of course you didn't, okay?
I'm done. I'm just done. I don't even want to do this show because it's just horrible.
Well, then go ahead.
I really don't want to do it.
I just want to say one thing. The White Sox sweep the Tigers, move 3 games over 500. You know that we love the White Sox. Or I did, anyway.
All you do is put them down, so I don't know how you like
3
them.
games over...
Is that how you treat people?
What player... I'll throw this out to the chat room. Name the player. Good morning, Zelmo. Name the player who's got the most hits of any player in Major League Baseball since the All-Star game. Okay? Most hits. Name the player. So the White Sox trail the Guardians by 2.5 games, the Twins by a half game. Cleveland has a very favorable schedule. They've got 30 of their last 48 games at home. Head.
They've also had a good record since the All-Star break, which we just discussed. The Cleveland Guardians were in the best since the All-Star game, and the Minnesota Twins have been in the worst since the All-Star game. So that's that.
Yeah, we criticized, the Josh Hader thing.
Who's criticizing?
Everybody criticized the Josh Hader trade. Everybody thought San Diego was going to walk away with it now. We'll talk about that in a second.
Nobody said
Milwaukee's got 3 losses and 3 blown saves since they traded Josh Hader. Go ahead.
Yeah, they haven't done good.
Go ahead. You were talking about Stanton. Go ahead.
So Stanton moved from a little tired from the All-Star game to having no timetable for return 3 weeks later.
That's right.
He was a little tired from the All-Star game. Didn't he get COVID at the All-Star game?
I don't know.
Or Judge?
But he was a little tired. And now, 3 weeks later, he's still a little tired.
He ramped up his workouts a bit more. That's what Boone said on Friday.
Yeah.
But the next step is a full pregame workout, and that all occurs before he goes on a rehab assignment. So we're not going to be expecting Stanton back in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, and then he could play in a minor league rehab game and the whole thing. And that's from being, what did he say 3 weeks ago, a little tired from the All-Star game.
So these writers, we're going to talk about Judge now.
Yeah, go ahead.
So these writers, they crack me up, okay? So basically the article starts off by saying that Judge entered Friday leading the American League with 94 runs, 45 home runs, 99 RBIs, a 681 slugging, blah, blah, blah. He's on pace to have a season like Willie Mays in 1954, Mickey Mantle in 1956, and Babe Ruth in 1927. All that is true. However, the next paragraph starts, it says, He's also on pace to break the legit home run record. That, of course, is Roger Maris' 61 home runs in 1961. Sometimes polite folks call it the Yankees and the American League record, but as a couple of my scouts mentioned, for obvious reasons, we're not counting Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, or Mark McGwire while pondering the greatest season ever.
You can't do baseball like that.
These writers just decide.
You can't separate baseball.
I mean, you take stats and you go, oh, well, he doesn't count because of that. I get why they don't think he should count, but the fact is, he counts.
Well, look, Aaron Judge needs 17 home runs in 50 games to beat Roger Maris's record. Will he do it?
Yes, I do. I think he will do it.
You think he'll do it?
In 50 games, 17 homers?
17 homers in 50 games to beat Maris's record.
So then, I don't know if this is a different article that you picked up, but it goes on to say that Judge also leads the MLB with a 7.4 WAR, with Arenado second at 6. Now, that's the Baseball Reference WAR. The guy says, I don't really trust WAR since there are two WARs that disagree with each other.
Yeah.
The 7.4 is the Fangraphs WAR, which shows Judge with an even greater gap between him and second place. According to this version, he is 23% better than Arenado. In the other WAR, he's only 10% better than the next best. So the guy goes on to say that basically because of that, he thinks that the Fangraphs WAR is more accurate because Aaron Judge clearly is 20% better than Arenado. So that logic is flawed in so many ways, but I actually looked up what the difference is between the WARs.
Go ahead.
Baseball Reference's WAR focuses more on the outcomes of the game, while Fangraphs is known for valuing the peripherals more, trying to separate a pitcher's true performance from as many complicating factors as possible. So Baseball Reference WAR, which shows Aaron Judge only 10% better than Arenado, they're taking into consideration the outcomes of the game, which that's up to you to make the decision which you think is more accurate. Personally, I think that this formula was designed to take out all of the static and the noise and really focus on the talent of each individual player. So including the outcomes of a game, to me, would be less accurate because when a player is good, it doesn't necessarily mean that his team is going to win.
Yes. And Judge has, in a 162-game stretch, has 63 home runs in a stretch of 162 games. Not too bad. And
so let's make a bet.
Well,
do you think he'll get the
Yes, I do think he'll get it. I do think he'll get it. I also think that we'll get Dennis Timko, who has just joined us. Dr. Dennis Timko, Aiden Timko, Dennis Timko.
King Hap!
Well, he used to be Emperor. He has now been demoted to King.
Wait a minute.
All right, yeah, used to be Emperor Hap. Now he's King Hap.
Wait, what's the difference between an Emperor and a King?
I have no idea.
Are you sure King isn't above the Emperor?
Ask Taco.
Malpal!
And that's right,
King
Kenny
Hap.
Flammy is here. Malpal has joined us. There you go. Good to see the Malpal. Merrill is here. Mitchell is not far behind. White Sox Al is here. He was here.
Elmo.
He said hello.
Tony.
Everybody's got to eat and run, right? How about the players the Yankees acquired before the trade deadline?
Okay, so since they were acquired by the Yankees, Andrew Benintendi is hitting 191
Yes.
with 5 doubles. He's 9 for 47. Frankie Montas is 2 games started with a 9 ERA.
Yeah, pretty good acquisitions by the
In 2
Yankees.
games started, he's only pitched 8 innings. Okay?
Nothing's going right for the Yankees.
Hold on. Lou Trevino.
Yeah, Trevino's done well.
Do you want me to tell you what these players have done,
Yes,
or are we
I
done
do.
with this?
I want you to tell me.
7 games, a 0 ERA, 5 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 4 hits, 3 walks. Lou Trevino, since becoming a Yankee. So he's actually pretty good still.
He's done pretty good.
And then Ed Frost, not very good. So basically the point of that tidbit, what?
Was that the 2 big pickups, but nothing's going right for the Yankees. And if you really want to take a look at it, given the Red Sox their first series win in the American League East is the lowest point of the season, combined... What do you...
You don't like my leg touching your leg?
No, your legs can't touch my legs.
Okay. One other
because
person...
your mother may be listening to this podcast. All right?
My mother called Lenny an asswipe.
That's beside the point. The Yankees, total disgrace. Not because they lost.
Hold on, though. There's another player that we need to talk about.
Who?
Gallo.
Well, we'll get to Gallo in a second. I just want to tell you what somebody said who actually watches the games and said... They gave up, and they gave absolutely no effort. Now, I didn't see... What do you call effort?
Who's decided? This is an opinion. This isn't a fact. It says that they... Not because they're horrible offensively, not because they can't pitch, but because they gave up and gave absolutely no effort. It's an indictment of Boone, this guy goes on to say.
Yeah.
So, how do you know that they gave up? Because they couldn't get hits?
It's the perception of watching the game. Robinson Cano, who didn't run balls out, played
that
like
was a long time ago, Leonard.
But still, it's an example. He played like he wasn't giving an effort, yet he always hit 300 and never missed a game.
That is such a generalized statement. Basically saying that every Yankee isn't trying. That's just stupid. The season is 162 games. Not everybody is going to be on top of their game all the time.
Okay.
The Yankees are clearly in the lead in the American League East, so they're not horrible offensively. They are decent in pitching. They haven't been great lately. But when they got rid of Gallo, okay, Joey Gallo's teams are 52-18 in games that he has started in.
Yeah.
52-18. It's 162 game pace of 120 wins. Okay.
Unbelievable.
Since the Yankees traded Joey Gallo to the Dodgers are 9-0 and the Yankees are 1-8. So, is it addition by subtraction to get rid of Gallo, or is this just a coincidence?
That's addition by subtraction?
I don't think so. They're losing.
No, it's not.
Maybe the fans are mad because they can't blame Joey Gallo anymore.
It's the opposite of an addition. And then Jameson Taillon, 22 starts. Aaron Judge is batting .371 when Jameson Taillon starts. No other Major League player has hit more than 10 home runs in any one-pitcher starts this year. And, of course, his 30 RBIs are also the most by any batter for any particular pitcher.
So definitely put in your DFS notebook to purchase, no matter what he costs, spend the money on Aaron Judge when Jameson Taillon is pitching.
I asked a question before. I'm not ready to give the answer yet, but we're getting close. What player has the most hits in August?
You said since the All-Star
break. Yeah, well,
break.
I meant to say this. Most hits in August in all of Major League Baseball. Name the player who's got the most hits in the month of August so far.
And also, another trivia too, okay?
Go ahead.
The most walks since the All-Star break. Which hitter has the most walks since the All-Star break?
All right, let's not confuse everybody.
So, who has the most hits in August, and who has the most walks since the All-Star break?
I'll tell you what, if you're playing DFS, you've got to play Rafael Devers on Sundays. Right? He's 24 for 60. The highest...
Eddie got it. He knows.
Who?
Eddie. And
Jeremy
Gibbs
got holy mackerel. You can't...
Wait,
Kenny Loosh was
Vaughn
wrong.
is something.
Unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
It is Adley Rutschman for the most walks. Now, Vaughn's broken another record that we'll
kidding
talk
me?
about in a second. Unholy.
Eloy, I would have never gotten that.
Dennis Timko said that the Gallo never played in New York, so that record doesn't even matter. Did he not play? He actually has 17 homers.
What are you talking about? He played for the Yankees,
right? But he said that Gallo never played in New York. What does that mean, Dennis?
I don't get that.
I don't get it either.
Rafael Devers batting .400
Do I get a prize?
on Sunday.
Eddie wants a prize. Leonard.
Eddie gets a prize. Good morning to Mitchell. Merrill has been here. Over the last 3 seasons, Rafael Devers leads the majors in batting average, .353, and 19 home runs on Sunday. You must put Rafael Devers in your DFS lineups every Sunday.
Yeah. So, but also, well, you were reading the wrong thing. He bats .400 on Sundays this season.
Yeah, oh, okay, this season.
It's a pattern for him because over the last 3 seasons, he leads the majors in batting average on Sundays, which is .353. So,
Okay, I apologize.
anyway, the most hits in August. Oh, Andrew Vaughn comes in second.
Yeah, Eloy has 22, Andrew. So 2 White Sox players have the most hits in the month of August.
So how are you going to knock him now? Where's Daniel?
22 for Eloy and 19 for Vaughn. And the Blue Jays, approximately 25% of Toronto's remaining games are against the Orioles. That was
you know what? If you would have said that to me 6 months ago, I would say the Blue Jays have the easiest schedule in town. But that's not the case anymore. They definitely don't.
And you're right. Did you already say that Adley Rutschman had the most walks?
Eddie did.
Eddie. That's right. Adley Rutschman.
He's got 19 walks since the All-Star break. Judge has 18 and Soto has 18. That was on Friday, so they could have walked more between now and then. But, of course, leave it to Eddie to get the Adley Rutschman. That's great.
Unbelievable.
So, Michael Brantley, 35 years old, hasn't appeared in a big league game since June 26. He hit .288 with 5 homers and 26 RBIs in 64 games in the final season of his $32 million 2-year contract. He's out for the season.
Unbelievable.
He underwent arthroscopic labral, whatever.
Yeah, labral repair.
On the same shoulder surgery that Tatis has kept deciding not to get.
You were talking about being afraid of losing Tatis because of his shoulder. You were right, but it wasn't his shoulder. We'll get to that in a second.
You don't know if it was going to be a shoulder. It's eventually going to be a shoulder. I even heard Jim Bowden last night clarify that eventually this injury is going to need surgical repair. It is not questionable. So if you're going in, if you have this idea that Tatis is just going to have his shoulder repair, it's not going to work. Maybe just all this time off now might work. I don't know. But they say this injury cannot be treated with time.
Once again, we thank you all. Big Al, Greg, Chris, Dad, Daniel, Dennis, DK, Eddie Ekman, Jeremy, Kenny Flamia, Leonard, Malpal, Marta, Merrill, Mitchell, Tommy, Unholy, Zelmo, White Sox, and a bunch of million guests.
Hey.
Can't thank you.
Here's a new trivia.
What?
For the chat room.
I'm not sitting next to you anymore.
That would be great.
All right, go ahead.
It's not going to hurt my feelings.
Go ahead.
You'll come back.
That's my new name. Instead of Yul Brenner, I'll be Yul Comeback. All right, go ahead.
You'll be back. All right. Who has the lowest batting average since June 1st among qualified major league hitters?
Ooh, that's a good one.
The lowest batting average among qualified major league hitters since June 1st. Now, this is a National League player.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to tell you now.
That's
I'll give
all
you
I'm
some
gonna get?
For now.
Okay.
Let's see what the chat room does, because they're pretty active today, Leonard.
So once again,
Whoops.
What are you doing? Lowest among qualified major league hitters since June 1st. Lowest batting average.
Yeah, don't tell. Don't tell.
Now, C.J. Abrams is going to join Washington today, and he's a decent ad. He should play regularly. Okay, once again, Eric Cross pointed this out. Eric, start listening to the podcast, because I mention your name every day.
Why do you like him so much?
Because he comes up with some good stuff. And I see his stuff on
Yes,
Twitter.
he does.
And since his last blown save, which was May 24th, Edwin Diaz has produced 26 innings, 1 run, 34 ERA. Remember?
1 run in 26 2/3.
16 saves, 16 chances. Remember when the Mets were criticized for getting Edwin Diaz and they gave up Jarred Kelenic?
Well, everybody loved Jarred Kelenic, and maybe he'll be good when he grows up some, but he's got work ethic issues, in my opinion.
Will I be good when I grow up?
That's my opinion. Leonard?
Yes.
You're grown up.
Okay. Diaz is King Hap's boy. Okay. The Cardinals are doing good at home.
King Hap. I wonder how much you paid for Edwin Diaz. Is he really your boy?
Yeah, how much did you pay for him? Okay. So the Cardinals won their 9th straight at home, the longest streak since June 2nd, 2015 anyway. And they have today off. They will skip Dakota Hudson start in the rotation Wednesday against, thank goodness.
Okay.
Wednesday against Colorado, you don't have to take Dakota Hudson out of your lineup. Last time he got blasted. So
you're telling people not to take him out, even
no.
though he just got blasted?
He's not going against Colorado. They're taking him out of the rotation.
Why, because Colorado's so scary?
No, because they want him to refine his approach against left-handed hitters. Okay, so there's no word yet on Quintana.
Well, if they take him out against Colorado, who are they? Are they going to take him out against every team in baseball that's better than Colorado, which is every team?
At Colorado.
It says versus Colorado.
Yeah, it's at Colorado.
Okay, King Hap wants us to give some love for the fact that Taco was just eliminated from the playoffs.
Okay.
I feel horrible for Taco because he can't defend himself.
Well, he doesn't come into the chat room, so he can't learn anything.
He's working.
Well, he's working.
Maybe that's him.
This is probably Taco on the phone now.
Oh, please hang up. Please hang up.
Hello.
Anyway, I'll keep talking. No, we're not doing that.
Hello.
Anyway, King Hap says,
Hello.
right after this, he says...
Sarah, does your heart burn? Sarah, does your heart burn? Sarah, are you there? Sarah, you got problems.
We asked who has the lowest batting average since June 1st, and of course King Hap comes up with Alex Verdugo because he can't get over the fact that the Red Sox traded Mookie Betts and got back Alex Verdugo, and I get that. Like, a lot of Red Sox fans feel like they can never like Verdugo because he doesn't ever replace Mookie Betts.
So what is the answer?
What's the answer? It's Kyle. Wait.
Not Kyle.
What's his name? Carl?
No.
What's his name?
It's Yastrzemski.
Mike.
Yastrzemski. 169 since June 1st.
Okay.
Holy mackerel. And the Marlins, my pick to win the National League East, they lost their 25th game of the season. How many people are hanging in on Wander Franco with the right hamate fracture? He still feels discomfort swinging.
Right-handed, but he's hitting fine lefty.
It doesn't matter. The last time he played was July 10th. Also, Harold Ramirez is going to take batting practice as well.
I don't care about Harold Ramirez.
All right, I got a good one for you. Got a good one for you.
What, is this a trivia?
No, it's not trivia. This is something I want the opinion of the chat room.
I actually have an opinion on this myself, if you don't want to.
And you could put your opinion in, too.
Okay.
This is a very interesting chat room question. Mm-hmm. Lewis Robert left the game Friday in the bottom of the sixth. He had a sprained left wrist. Again. He collided with Jonathan Scope. Okay. So he left Friday's opening, spraining his wrist. X-rays were negative.
And he's been out of the lineup for the last two games.
And A.J. Pollock has been terrific.
Right.
Now, in comparison, Michael Harris, the youngest player in Major League Baseball, hit another home run, giving Atlanta, a 4-2 lead. He is the front runner for the National League Rookie of the Year. Next year, you have a chance to draft. You're looking for a young outfielder. Who would you take? Michael Harris, this is a great question, or Lewis Robert? Michael Harris or Lewis Robert? Who do you pick for next year? Daniel Ferrara, great stuff. Come on, everybody. This one is really...
I'm taking Luis Robert for the
Marta
same reason.
says Michael Harris. Go ahead.
But my reasoning is based on just only experience alone. And there's a thing, the sophomore slump, it's real. I haven't given Michael Harris enough credit for what he's done. I mean, he's really, ever since he came up, he's just been a great addition to this team. And I remember talking with you about this before a couple weeks ago, and it was like, ever since he showed up, Atlanta has been winning. Now, I don't know for sure that that's the reason why they're winning so much, but he has been excellent. He's got as many home runs as Luis Robert. No, wait, Luis Robert has 12.
This could be the
Michael
best
Harris has 12.
fantasy question ever asked on any radio show, podcast. Sorry, Sirius Radio, you blew it. Go ahead. Harris or Robert? The chat room is very divided.
Well, it depends. This is a big thing. Where is he going to go in drafts? If he's going up there where Robert is, that's a decision you have to make. I mean, you would have to say this question saying all things being equal, that they're both available to be drafted.
That's right.
Okay.
And it's your turn to draft.
I'm taking Luis Robert.
You're taking
Robert. It's
Robert.
really risky because he hasn't been good at all.
He's been good.
He's been better, right?
His numbers are terrific. It's just that he misses so much
His
time.
numbers are not terrific.
What do you mean it's not terrific?
Yes, he steals bases and he hits homers.
Yeah, well,
But
this
he's
is fantasy baseball.
Michael Harris has numbers as good as his, and he just came up.
Okay.
So, yes, he misses too many games, and he's been doing that for years. So, it kind of evens out this idea of experience because, yeah, Luis Robert has experience, but it's experience being out half the season every year.
Malpass comes up with a good one. And Harris and oh my God, and Dennis Simcoe agrees. Robert has to prove he is not Byron Buxton.
Byron Buxton rules.
How about that?
Hey, you can't knock
What
Byron.
did you just do?
Rules. Buxton cannot be dogged on this year.
Nobody's married to a cow like I am.
A cow?
Yes, go ahead. Well, what did you do? What did you do?
I don't know. I lost all my concentration because someone just called me a cow.
Well, not because you were.
Although I like cows.
You don't look like a cow. You went moo.
No, I didn't.
What'd you do?
I was saying something else.
You said roo.
Rules.
Don't kiss
Byron
me.
Buxton.
Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
Rules.
Give me
Not
a kiss.
mooing.
Oh, okay. All right. So you like young players? What do you think of Winton?
No, I don't. I like old players.
Well,
Okay, hold on.
I think your mother was wrong. You're an asswipe, not me. Go ahead.
This is a longtime minor leaguer. Get your pens and papers and whatever
Get your
else
pens and papers.
papers.
Yeah, go ahead. Winton Bernard. Is that the guy? That's the guy I wanted to
He's
talk
31 years old.
about. Yep.
He made his debut in the majors. Not even just 31. 31 and 322 days. So this kid we could just call him 32. Because
Right.
that's what he is.
Good.
He's 32. And he just made his debut. He stole a base. He's the oldest player to get a hit and steal a base in his ML debut since 1907. However, I said, okay, what's this guy done in the minors? He is 32, but this year in the minors, 2022, Triple A, 345 at bats, 17 home runs, and 26 stolen bases.
Dennis Simcoe says, watch out for the sophomore slump.
Yes.
And I agree.
So,
And-
hold on. I want to make sure that people know about this kid.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's not a kid. Winton Bernard, 32 years old, 345 at bats in the minors, Triple A, 17 homers, 26 stolen bases, and a 325 batting average. Is he going to be able to pull that off in the majors? Who knows? He's never been to the majors. He plays for Colorado, so his home ballpark is great for batters. If you're desperate for someone in your NL only, take a shot on this guy. He's been
Okay.
hitting home runs and stealing
Okay.
bases all year.
Let's go to the chat room once again. And here's my question. What is your superstition in sports? Is it when you sit on the couch to watch your favorite team playing? Do you sit in the same spot if they're winning? You know, that kind of thing. Do you change the channel? What is your superstition? Do you eat the same thing when you want your team or your player to win? What do you do superstition-wise?
This guy, probably an MLB sports writer.
What? In any sport.
Here's his idea. He says these horrible black jerseys need to be burned, and we need to pull our heads out of our ass and burn these jerseys.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Because the Mets lost just 5 times since the All-Star break. 3 times were with their black jerseys. So I don't even know who wrote this, but
Just some other vulture in the media.
Superstition. There you go. So talk about your sports superstitions. You know in baseball that you don't cross the pitcher's mound. Many players, when they go out to
That's
the field,
called etiquette. That is not superstition.
So what about you won't step on the baseline as you're going out to the field?
That's etiquette.
That's
Leonard.
superstition.
That is like golf etiquette. It's the same type of thing.
When you jump over the first baseline, that's not etiquette. That's superstition. Right?
Okay, maybe.
There are many. You sit in the same place in the dugout.
You don't wash your socks.
You know,
You wear the same hat?
I wore the same sweatshirt in Little League for 3 years.
Hey, by the way,
Yes.
a Long Island, New York team is going to the Little League World Series.
Massapequa going to the World Series in the Little League.
They've never been. And
My
we're very
daughter
proud
is
of these
there.
kids. Yep.
All right, she's there.
Lenny's daughter's boyfriend, who she lives with, is in charge of setting up the events,
in certain
like
events,
Super
yes.
Bowl, World Series, All-Star games, like
Unbelievable.
every sport. So she gets to go to a lot of things.
Poncho is here. Holy cow. Go ahead.
Hey, Poncho. Okay. So Byron Buxton, the one you guys are trying to dog on in the chat room.
Yeah, we've been following this for a long time. 55.
55 homers since he last grounded into a double play.
Okay.
That's the most since 1940.
Yep. Okay. And look.
I love Buxton.
All right. So Tatis,
Okay.
you talked about him. You've been talking about him about his shoulder, and then Mike Clevenger comes out and says how disappointed. It's the second time they've been disappointed.
So, yeah,
We hope he grows up and learns from this. What do you think?
I feel a little disappointed that Clevenger would come out and say that about his teammate. And because while I agree with him, it's not. So he's comparing this PED suspension to the first time that Tatis let the team down, which was when he went out on his bike and got into an accident, right? I don't think those two are comparable. I mean, we've had a lot of people fall off their bikes, but including Chris Sale recently fell off his bike. I think this is a trend. I went and looked up ringworm because I see that Tatis put out a statement.
Oh, by the way, I got some weird superstitions in the chat room, especially Chris Gallo. He crosses his legs. I don't want to go into it anymore, and no more detail, Chris. All right, go ahead, Andy.
Will you ask for people to tell you their superstition?
Yeah, but come on.
And then
Come
you
on.
act like you don't care about them.
All right, go
I
ahead.
think the more the better.
Superstitions. Put
Hold
it in the
on.
chat room. Go ahead.
So Tatis says he put out a statement and he says that he took the banned substance to treat ringworm, and he's very devastated. So I asked Melpel what causes ringworm. He didn't know, so I went to the internet. I looked up the ringworm thing. It's a fungus basically. It's not really worms. It's a fungus, but you use antifungal to treat it. And so Tatis saying that now there are other countries in the world that you can buy cream over the counter that has that particular ingredient that they busted him for in, but that is not sold in the United States of America. So either he had his buddy send it from wherever, or he's lying about that.
Okay.
Apparently athletes get ringworm all the time.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a fungus that grows probably in between your toes. I'm surprised you don't have it.
Ringworm?
Yeah, because you have fungus growing.
I have no fungus.
I think you do, Lenny.
No, I have no fungus. And next month in September,
We all have fungus.
and the end of September, when I take a shower, all right, I will prove it to you.
Do you know why you don't have fungus on your feet?
Why? Because of you.
Because I give you antifungal cream for your feet.
Antifungal cream. The Yankees did not score for the 7th straight extra inning when losing at Fenway Park the other night. Tie for the longest streak of any team since the Ghost Runner was implemented. You know what the Ghost Runner is?
Is that the guy that runs on second?
Yeah.
He starts on second?
So the Yankees, 7th straight extra inning loss.
So here's what I found about clostebol. It's a synthetic anabolic androgenic steroid that essentially mimics testosterone. Many countries use it in the medicine that treats ringworm. It's a fungus that is very common in athletes, and they treat it with medication that contains this clostebol. But in the United States and Canada, no medicine that treats this fungus has any type of steroid. Tatis trusted his physician and made a terrible mistake. I highly doubt his physician would give him antifungal that had this ingredient in it when you can't even get it in the United States or Canada. It makes no sense. He's throwing his physician under the bus right now.
Okay, so when you're looking at the Yankee closer situation, who are you taking? Because Aaron Boone
Well,
says
I'm stuck with Chapman on my roster.
it's mix and match, is the way Boone put it in his
If
current
Chapman
closer
starts to
standing.
pitch better, he will have the closer role back. That's
think
my
so.
opinion.
Okay.
So,
you
moving on. I don't want to
Yeah.
talk about Tatis
All
anymore.
right. You still like Michael Kopech?
People have been asking about Michael Kopech. I wish he would go back to Drew Rasmussen because this guy has
All
been...
right. You want to talk about Rasmussen? Go
He
ahead.
exited yesterday after 8 perfect innings. Rasmussen is actually a good pitcher. He's got a 2.80 ERA this year, 99 innings pitched, and he nearly pitched a perfect game yesterday. 8 perfect innings, so call it what you will. It was an excellent performance. I'm so thankful that I didn't drop this guy when he was injured because he's been having kind of a tough season. But overall, his ERA is under 3, and his whip is barely 1. So if you were lucky enough and smart enough to hold on to Drew Rasmussen, I mean, I have to say, yesterday, between Rasmussen, I mean, he was on a different team, but Lynn and Christian Javier.
Yep, you beat Paul Spora. That's right.
I needed 50 points yesterday. No, I needed...
I've always been a big Michael Kopech fan, right?
Okay. A Michael Kopech. I was only... If you say I was a fan, that's fine. I thought he would be in the rotation last year, and I told everybody that I said, why wouldn't they put him in the rotation? He's been... I mean, this team has raised this
Daniel
guy.
Ferrara just had some excitement in his life.
Michael Kopech's start on Friday night was the 50th time in baseball history a starting pitcher had 11 or more strikeouts and no hits allowed. He got a no decision. Every single other pitcher that did that all got wins. But in the last couple outings, well, since July 10th, Michael Kopech has pitched at least 5 innings in all but 1 outing. And he's got a 3.31 in ERA in the last 14 days, a 2.49 ERA in the last 30 days. Michael Kopech will continue to do well, right, as long as he's healthy. He's pitched 104 innings so far this year. He walks too many batters. That's his only problem. He gives up 1.1 home runs per 9, but his biggest problem is his walks, 4.4 per 9. And and if it weren't for those walks, his ERA would be better. However, his FIP is actually 4.41, and I guarantee that's because of all the walks that he allows. You can't allow runners on the base path.
What are you paying for Kopech next year?
I probably won't.
But still, if you're going to pay, how much do you think he'll go for? $8? $12? Okay. So let's say about 10. Jimmy Lambert, if you don't know who he is, he was a White Sox relief pitcher. He faced 4 batters. He's the 4th White Sox reliever to face 4 batters and strike out all of them. All right,
in the month of... Can I tell this?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm skipping over.
I wasn't finished with Jimmy Lambert. But go ahead. You can talk about whatever you want.
He's worthless in fantasy.
Go ahead. Yes, he is. You're right.
Okay. This is for you, Unholy. In the month of August...
No, it's for Daniel Ferrara.
No, it isn't. It's for Unholy.
All right, go ahead.
Am I wrong?
Go.
Maybe it's not for Unholy. Andrew Vaughn, he has as many extra base hits as strikeouts. We knew when he was coming up...
In the month of August. 50 at-bats.
He only strikes out 15% of the time. His only problem, this guy's only problem, is the fact that he hardly ever takes a walk. Mm-hmm. So I would say in on-base percentage leagues, Vaughn is not as valuable as he is in average leagues. He absolutely, if you look on RotoWire on the player pages, you could see these green bars and red bars. You could see what a player is doing just by looking at the graph or the bar, I don't know, the bar chart.
We are giving you more information than any show in the history of radio in an hour. You got that? More than anybody.
His contact rate is 83%. His exit velocity is 91 miles an hour. His batting average and his on-base percentage really isn't suffering because he doesn't strike out very much. But he certainly is not. I would say that his on-base percentage is not as strong as his average because he just doesn't take walks. He only walks 5%.
Have you given up on A.J. Pollock, the first White Sox player to get 2 hits, 2 runs, and 1 or more RBIs in consecutive games? Have you given up on Pollock?
I don't give up on A.J. Pollock if he's playing every day. But wasn't he playing for Luis Robert? Is that who he was playing for?
Yes.
So as soon as Robert's healthy again, he's probably not going to get everyday at-bats unless he continues to hit. We all know A.J. Pollock is a decent hitter, but his defense has gone down the toilet in his older age.
All
right. How about this one? Another 30-year-old rookie making his big league debut, Joey Meneses.
Okay, what about him? I didn't even know who he was coming into the season.
30-year-old rookie who made his big league debut on August 2nd now has 5 homers in 9 games. And yes, he plays for the Nationals, but he still hits. Now, I will tell you what he did at AAA so far this season, which was 20 homers and 1 stolen base. So not a stolen base guy, a real power guy. Another 30-year-old but he already has 5 home runs in the majors. So it's clearly
Right.
translating into the major leagues. That's another
You
youngster
could
to
pick
look
him
at.
up if you get a chance. He's going to get a chance to play. Same way Jorge Mateo got a chance to play, and he is one of the most underrated fantasy players in baseball. Is he the most underrated player? Is he the value-added MVP? Mateo?
No.
No?
He's great.
He's-
I'm not going to say he's not a value-added player.
Okay.
What are his stats?
I don't have his stats.
Are they
but
excellent?
excellent? He steals bases, went
I
5
just
for
love
5
it.
the other night.
I still like it.
Hoping to get the Orioles. He's one of the reasons the Orioles are in the wild card spot. By the way, on Sundays the Tigers are 4-12. The White Sox are 13-6. There you go.
Okay, so all right,
There
bet on
you
the
go.
Whites.
How
Lance
about
McCullers
Lance McCullers. Go ahead.
pitched 6 shutout innings in his season debut. He was an All-Star in 2017. In 6 innings, he allowed 2 hits, struck out 5, walked 4. 47 of 81 pitches were strikes. It was his first shutout since 2021. He actually pitched for the first time in 305 days. Last going for the Astros in Game 4 of the 2021 AL Divisional Series against the White Sox. So, yes, McCullers is back. I think Malpal should plug his ears. He finally traded McCullers because
Really?
and McCullers has great talent.
Malpal, if you're having a good year this year, it seems that all the players you picked don't do well. The players you didn't pick have done well.
Well, he wrote off one team when he was 20 points behind the next guy up.
Yeah.
Now he's only 4 points behind that guy. And
Oh,
he
fantastic.
wrote that team off.
Up, so that's McCullers. And Bregman hit his 15th homer. It was
Bregman
his
sucks.
9th homer, 33rd RBI since June 17th.
He sucks. He can't hit lefties.
You think so?
And
Okay.
he doesn't walk nearly as many as he used to walk all the time because he was getting secret signs given to him. I'm sorry. Your play discipline doesn't just fall apart when you get caught cheating.
You think the Angels are ready to make a move? They entered Saturday's game 1 win, 50 losses when trailing by multiple runs in the 9th or later.
Okay, hold on.
They're
How many teams have a good
Saturday,
record?
2 runs in the 11th inning.
They're
But not 1 in 50.
They were 1-50. How many teams win the game when they're down by 2 or more runs in the 9th inning?
But 1 in 50, and they won the game Saturday.
That's
They had
just
2 runs in the 11th inning to beat Minnesota 5-3. And then the Padres' 7th loss after leading by 3 or more runs.
Albert Pujols is
Wait
my
a second.
favorite. St.
The
Louis game.
Padres tied for the 3rd most in Major League Baseball, 7th loss after winning by 3 or more runs.
Jay Gibbs and Dr. Timko.
Yes.
What a great day. Were either of you at the game? Was anybody at the St. Louis game
And
yesterday?
Boston Paul has just joined us.
I
So
love
Jeremy Gibbs and Boston Paul, have you gotten your gifts yet? We sent them out to both of you.
And J.R. Mance, is he here?
No, he's not here.
Oh, he's at school?
He's at school.
Okay. Albert Pujols, king of the world. 2 homers yesterday. The fans just go crazy. What a great time at Busch Stadium it was yesterday. I mean, there's been several games there this year that have just been fantastic for fans.
Okay, and we'll end it with this.
No.
Who is the only Major League Baseball player in the last 30 years to have a game-tying homer and a go-ahead RBI bunt in the same game? The only player in 30 years to have a game-tying homer and a go-ahead bunt. Let's see how good you are. No gift yet by Boston Paul. Okay. Probably not by Jeremy either. But look, we got to say...
Okay, if these don't come through, then we're going to have to check the addresses that I've been getting from Lenny.
It's unbelievable. All right.
I'm going to send you messages in Facebook to see if we have the right address.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Daniel, Dennis, DK Lush, Eddie Heckman, Jeremy Gibbs. Thank you all. We know we got school coming up, but get your priorities straight, okay? Kenny Flamier, the king of all haps, Leonard
Where's
Donaldson. Stardog hasn't been in the chat room. Malpal, Marta 123, Tommy Johnson, Onoli Toledo, Zelmo, White
And Tony.
Sox Gal,
Zelmo's wife, Tony.
and Zelmo's wife, Tony. Hope to see you guys again and all the guests. And wow, thank you for making the chat room the greatest of all time. And Lady in the Legend will be back on Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You're going to have to live with me
And me yelling in the background.
and her yelling in the background. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow.